Welcome everybody to the TRRW November 1st, 2013 Destruction Pay-Per-View Pre-Show. Now here we are going to discuss all the matches that are happening in one of our largest cards in TRRW history, as well as the events leading up to these matches. So, first up, we have Masked Man versus his very own tag team partner, Mexican Mystery, and a loser takes off his mask match. Then we have, for the Toy Championship, Kat versus Jaden. For the tag team titles, champions Nightfall and Mike Lickster will take on the New Generation's Shoutout and Frank Hankman in a tables match for the tag titles. Only for right after, Shoutout will have to take on the Spider Monkey in a ladder match for his Hardcore Championship. There is no Universal Championship match tonight, and Josh, the current ECW champion, will face the former ECW champion, Hunger, where the winner will face Fear on ECW for the ECW title as well. So, no rest for the weary, and last but not least, Hunter will square off against Justin for the TRRW Championship. Now, that's a very stacked card. That's more than we usually have. That's actually 1, 2, 3, 4... Wait, let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches. 7 matches tonight at Destruction. And TRRW has really been stepping up in competition. And it's just amazing time period right now in TRRW compared to what we will admit was a very slow and boring time period a couple of months ago. The 2013 year was pretty boring in TRRW, you gotta admit. But now the competition's been stepping up, and it looks like 2014 is going to be a great year for TRRW, as well as the later part of 2013. But let's start off with what's led up to these tag team partners, Masked Man and Mexican Mystery, facing off in a loser takes off their mask match. A great dishonor in Mexican history is for Mexican wrestling history, I should say, for a superstar to have to take off their mask. That's considered to be a great dishonor. A lot of wrestling fans may actually know that type of match from the WWE Sin Cara Azul versus Sin Cara Negro rivalry, which is kind of what this has become. See, Masked Man and Mexican Mystery have a history that can never be duplicated here in TRRW. These guys have been best friends for the majority of their lives. These guys have tag teamed in plenty of wrestling federations before they finally came to TRRW Wrestling. And they have won tag team titles in different companies. See, these guys have been best friends forever, very Sin Cara-like gimmicks, tag team kind of style thing. And it's just amazing to see these two actually square off against each other. Now, what led up to what would eventually become a rivalry between these two best friends is there was a tag team tournament to determine the number one contenders to the tag team championship. We had Apostle and Xavier, Jason Freddy, Masked Man, Mexican Mystery, and the eventual winners, Shoutout and Frank Hankman of the New Generation. And in the first round, Masked Man and Mexican Mystery lost. Now, they had kind of been almost what you could call jobbers lately in TRRW. It's been pretty sad for their career. Although TRRW does not have jobbers, because the unique way it's set up, you could check out how the company is uniquely set up on the TRRW Wrestling 1 channel on YouTube. But it's been a very complicated relationship between these two because I guess they've both been frustrated with their recent losses, which is completely understandable in the business. But Mexican Mystery took it out on the guy who actually took the pin, who was pinned, Masked Man. and he hits Masked Man with Mexican Mystery's finisher, and since then these two have just been arguing and going back and forth, and basically Mexican Mystery says he's tired of being in the shadow of his tag team partner, basically. He's tired of being in the shadow of the Masked Man. See, Masked Man has been known to kind of have durability issues. You know, he takes a hit, he can't really take a punch for his life, you know what I'm saying? And Mexican Mystery says that's not me. Just because he kind of is known to have durability issues and can't take a punch, they kind of put that on me. He's saying stuff like that. He's not as weak as people think he is. He's tired of being in the shadow of Masked Man. He's tired of Masked Man holding down his career, and it's just escalated into a loser takes off their mask match. And it's actually pretty sad to see two best friends have to argue like this. But this is what's come down to in this rivalry. And if Masked Man wants to break away from Mexican Mystery wants to break away from Masked Man, that's how it's going to have to go. But very unique to see two guys who have trained together, very similar move sets, very unique situation, and going to be a very unique match between these two. And we have another match as well. Nikki Vale, the former TRRW champion, the founder, the face, the CEO of this company, versus his former best friend, MSD, Michael Shondingle, and Nova Kane, former tag team champions, some of the best in the business. Such a unique match because Nikki Vale and MSD have had 5-star matches against each other. This all dates back to several months ago, if you guys remember. Nikki Vale came back from injury, or came back from a hiatus actually, and attacked Michael, who was considered to be his best friend at the time. And he said basically, I just need something to pick me up, and I think the best way to pick me up is by defeating you and getting rid of you in my life. See, Michael Dingle is credited by Nikki Vale to be one of the best in the business, and he says throughout all this, Michael hasn't been able to win a world title, get in any kind of main event. He says he's going to give Michael Dingle his 5 minutes of fame. He's going to be famous off of Nikki Vale, and he's just going to show the fans that really that he was wrong, and that maybe Michael Dingle can't be a world champion, he can't be a legend in the business. And boy, has this rivalry gotten personal between Nikki Vale and Michael Sean Dingle. I mean, Nikki Vale said everything from "you're worthless" to "the reason why you always crack jokes and want to be a comedian is because you're hiding the fact that you're basically a reject in your family, that nobody likes you in your family." That's why Nikki Vale said his mom left Michael. That's why Nikki Vale said his dad doesn't respect him. That's why he says he's being held back by his own personal demons in the wrestling business. But Michael Dingle comes back and says, maybe that's all true, but maybe this is my opportunity to prove everyone wrong, and even prove myself wrong and say, one day I can be a world champion. And it was, in fact, when Nikki Vale attacked Michael Sean Dingle, Michael was about to win a #1 contendership match for the Universal title. So he would be able to face Universal Champion Corey Feitel, but of course after that attack, Michael Dingle wasn't able to recuperate and win #1 contendership. So things have gotten personal. And eventually, after their first 5-star match, where Nikki Vale even hit Michael Sean Dingle with a Pepsi plunge off the top rope onto the outside of the ring, Nikki Vale started talking trash about another one of his best friends and Michael's tag team partner, Nova Kane. And we thought Nova Kane's contract had expired and he wasn't going to re-sign. He was going to depart from the company friendly because we thought he was moving to Florida. But turns out he wasn't. that was going to be delayed in his life. And turns out he re-signed with the company, and she attacks Nikki Vale and said, "Don't talk about me like that when I'm not in the company, when I'm not here." And he said,